Thank you. Just a minute, I forgot my mic. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Just a minute. Okay, thank you very much. Today is the 29th of July 2025. It's Tuesday evening in Birmingham, England. I'm going to discuss briefly about Kombo. And the reason why is I have covered an issue regarding the environmental destruction in Kartong. But for the program starting with Kombo, it's due to a long thought I have concerning the environment called Kombo itself. I cannot tell you now where the boundaries start and where it ends. But if we refer to the Kombo here, we are mainly talking from the Sukuta down to Kartong, and then down to the other side of the Kombo to the boundaries of Foni. And the reason is about its people, our people, its people. And it's about the resources and what those resources mean to us. It's about ownership, it's about representation, and it's about local politics itself. But more so about the potential Kombo hold for our Gambia. Whilst I'm saying and referring to Kombo, specific, it's not limiting the discussion. The discussion is Gambia for that matter. It's national. Because Kombo is part of Gambia, but Kombo too represents some specifics on Gambia, which are not just unique to them, but they are to be recognized in a sense of belonging, in the sense of leadership, in a sense of this potential it holds. The long-term thought about Kombo, just as many other regions that I have affiliation or I have contacts with, like Foni or other places, and Bakau, it comes out from a lot of the major issues nationally that came out of it. The politics of Kombo, what it represents. We all know the population represented in Kombo, the huge population, but in the history of the Gambia itself, the role it plays in our politics. But in recent history, we all know the continued dispute about land issues. And this, it's not between Kombonkers and outside of Kombonkers, no. This is within Kombonkers themselves, Kombonkers and people outside Kombonkers again, versus government, and so on and so forth. Which tells us it's not personal, but it's of interest, because the land represents a lot. We all know what land represents, and for us, this is one thing we need to recognize. And if you look at the issue about resources, we talk about land mining, and not only about the sand mining. I'm not talking about only sand mining, but the minerals that are mined from that sand. We did cover that many times, from Burfu to God knows where. It has been an issue. But not only that, we talk about the fish meal factors, about the marine resources that have been exploited and the pollution that is occurring due to the presence of these fish farm, fish meal factories in the Combos. We have seen tensions between communities. We have, recent as the Gunjur and Dasilame incidents, and others within communities or families for that matter, and people outside of these families. Now, the potential of that area of the Gambia is well known. It's well known. The resources present, or even the unknown resources present in that country, in that part of the Gambia. And when we said Kombo, we are talking about Gambia. And why are we specific here? Because there are specific incidents that are occurring in Kombo now, but we are going to witness that in other regions soon. Because Kombo's approximately to the capital. Location. We all know location is why people go for land, and that's what land values are. Location along the Atlantic is why people go for land, because of the location. Location because of many developments are coming around there. Since the road have been built, the coastal road have been built, we know that properties, appreciated, but again, speculation for grabbing property and land appreciated. As we are not experts in land, but we have experience dealing with land, or we have a little bit of knowledge about how land is transacted and so on. But there is more to land. There's far more to land that you might need an expert opinion to actually make the decision that matters about that land. But that does not stop the average Gambian to think about it, average Gambian to talk about it. We need to discuss it, because there's a lot more to it than just expert opinions. The Kombo, we know, have, and when we talk about Kombo, it's not about the land only we're talking about the people. The people that inhabited Kombo, people that are termed as the ancestral occupants of Kombo. We know the contributions, and we know the privileges they had. We know the education they acquired. We know the human resource capital within Kombo. We know the social capitals within Kombo. These are capitals. In most cases, we disregard them because we are not organized. And I'm saying we are not organized as Gambians, but I'm saying we are not organized as Kombo in specific as well. And because of, if one knows the amount of human capital that came from Kombo, be it Burfu, be it Kartong, be it Gunjur, let's go on, and many other settlements within, would understand that area should have been more prosperous, that area should have more protection, that area could have been more progressive than any other area in the Gambia. Just as when we look at the Gambia and see the human capitals we have and everything, social capitals we have, but we are led by people who are incompetent and who are completely corrupt. We look at the representation, people who represent Kombo at the National Assembly or within government. What do? They look after themselves. Then the problems we're talking about Kombo is not unique to Kombo, but it's a national problem. But we are tackling Kombo due to the attention that it receives due to the potential in Kombo. And knowing that after Kombo would be Fonyi, it already started in Fonyi. Land issues and other issues will be in Fonyi. And it's already happening in the Nyomi as well. It's already happening in the Nyomi as well. And that's how it's going to be. As we grow in population, as we develop by having infrastructure built, that's the more people will speculate about land, that how more people will go for land, that more people will be holding land for what? for their generational wealth. And if we continue in that manner, we don't have that enough of land. Then few people will be landowners, and the masses will be what? Peasants. And that's not progressive, and that's going to create other social problems, and that can create conflict among ourselves as well. Now, this is why we are discussing this. In the aspect of land and ownership, I think our laws, I believe, and I know a bit, that our laws are not fit for purpose. Our land laws are not fit for purpose. I know they are going around updating the laws and whatever it is, but it's not the lack of attention and updating. It's about the will to do right to communities. How do we make sure ownership is recognized as well? How do we make sure that populations that inhabit that land, populations that are known to be living on that land for centuries or decades need to be recognized? The interests of the general population, for that matter, need to be recognized, because whatever happens in Kombo would happen in other places. The land laws governing Kombo are not the same land laws governing the rest of the Gambia. All this needed to be recognized, and it's not unique to the Gambia as well. In every African country, we are having these conflicts because of the people that lead are just leading and doing things for the few. They are not leading to do things for the general population to coexist and to benefit from the wealth and resources of their country. Then this is not only criticizing the Barrow government, but at present it's the Barrow government in place. We had the First Republic. It was not perfect. It could have been better, but again, that can be related to probably the population was smaller and most of these areas were not developed. We come to be aware of this situation we have today when the dictatorship came into force, and especially after the development or building of that coastal road. But now it's even getting worse. And if you don't put stop to it, some people will say that Kombo is already gone. There's nothing left in Kombo, but still Kombo have a leadership role to play. Because from their experiences and everything else, it will need to determine, and contribute to what is going to happen in the other regions of the Gambia. Already the Foni's adventures are in Foni and adventures are in the Nyomi. We have to really be serious as people, as government, to make sure we avert the crisis that are to come. Now, I know it's very sentiments do arise when you talk about land ownership and stuff like that. But I will tell you from my experience, most of the conflict is within Kabilos themselves. Most of the conflict is within Kabilos themselves. And in most cases, most of the people who are engaged in the conflict are not doing it because of they are looking after the interests of the community, or they are looking at the interests of the greater population. But again, the worst of it is, in fact, there are so many people with capacity, so many people that should be involved in making sure these things are addressed. They will never get involved because of they have find themselves to be in better position and thinking that the little they have in life or they achieve in life is enough, and they have to abandon that community rather than get involved with the community and help in influencing policies and making sure land is managed well and the environment is managed better. Because if you all know the human capital from Kombo, and you'll be surprised that the people we see coming out to represent Kombo are not the best of people equipped to represent Kombo. But for many other reasons, people are shying away from taking responsibility within their community or within society itself to make sure the right things do happen. In most cases, the people that are really active or participating are doing it for their own selfish interest, or they might even meant well, but they lack that capacity to make sure things are done better, or to engage government or the administrators to make sure they protect the interests of their community. Now, let's think about most of the things that we've cried out for. In the sense of about the Gach Ababakar Jawara's mining the zircon or whatever mineral resources he is mining there, we don't even know. We all know the background of that. During colonial days, some of this mining started, but later the market value depreciates and they abandon them. But later, during the dictatorship, Australian companies started to venture into it, and they fell out with the dictator, and the dictator took it over with some foreign Lebanese and exploit it for the interest, to their own interest, but not the national interest. And seriously, what happened after that, thinking that we have removed the dictator and now we have, put in a democratic government, even become worse. Overnight, the contracts were given to people who don't have the capacity, who don't have the means or anything, giving them license to explore, and even up to today, Gambians cannot tell you where that resources go because it's not itemized in our budget. As far as we know, it's not itemized in our budget. How this royalties or the value of the contracts, it's not discussed. Ababakar Jawara who happened to turn around from being a patron of the dictator and become a patron of the of Barrow, was given this contract with a company called Gach, and we are seeing the damage. And the Republic Maligan investigative journalists have extensively written about what a bad deal the people have, Gambian people have, but especially people inhabiting that land or that area, and the danger and risk associated by living around those mines, and the environmental damage happening on all these things. These are known, but what comes out of it? Nothing will come out of it, because of the way our society is structured, and people representing us in those areas are looking after their interests, personal interests, but not to the societal interests or the community interests they claim to represent. But it's not only Gach. There are others we don't even know, companies operating we don't even know. And that is about the mineral resources. Why in this day and age, communities will allow such mining to happen, without them as stakeholders, making sure the interests of that community is looked after. But again, as I said, but nationally as well, as Gambians in a democracy, we don't even hear our political opposition talk about these issues on how it could have been done better, or how they're going to do it better when they come in power. What does that tell you? Do they really mean to do something different than what we have now? But again, as we concentrating in Kombo, and as the discussion is not about criticizing people from Kombo, but it's about engaging them in this conversation, that what leadership they need to take, what ownership they need to take, because of the experiences they have, and to lead. For Gambians to come and join in saving our country from that area, and setting a shining example for other regions in the country. We'll have to start somewhere. what we have in place is not sufficient. We come to the other area of sand mining, and in a bit I'll come to a particular case that I've been looking into, what is happening in Kartong. We know sand mining, for that matter, is not sustainable for Gambia. Our land mass is very small. Our coastal coastal lines are very vulnerable, and other associated risks. We cannot continue to build and depend on greater percentage of our building to be sand. That is coming from our coastal regions. This is not sustainable, and the recklessness of mining and the way it's done is just not sustainable in the long run. But this is continuing. It's affecting our nation, but directly affecting the people that live around those those mines. This is where the ownership comes in. That's where the leadership comes in. When we say ownership, we don't say inherently to completely own something, but sense of ownership, as we all have ownership, but especially when we are directly impacted or affected by what goes in there, we have that sense of ownership and responsibility to take on. We look at the sand mining and what goes about sand mining. We know it's not sustainable. There's a lot of competition within those communities, for that matter. I'll come to that later. But we know that, again, mostly people who benefit much are people who are out of that community. They are not within that community. Yes, there are people within the community who are benefiting, who are doing justice to their own community and so on. We know that, but we know that the greater part are companies or people who are wealthier, who can afford 10 to 15 trucks running every day, loading and offloading continuously every Monday to Sunday. And these are things that are not sustainable. But as a nation, where is the policy to look at what can we do that's sustainable? But as a community of Kombo, to what can we do to make sure these things are done in a way and manner is controlled to not continue to put our villages or towns very vulnerable. If you come to the fisheries, we all know how artificial fisheries continued from the coast of Bakau or even Banjul to Kartong. How migrant fishermen from men from Senegal, mostly of women that do processing of the fish stock and stuff like that, because it was technically a traditional skill. Fishing was seen a traditional skill, and most of the fishermen came from the Lebu tribe from Senegal, or some Nyominkas or Kasinkas or whatever we call them. Who were this is what mainly it was from Senegal, and we coexisted, and it was sustainable. People within these regions benefited and so on. But it comes to a level that now is exploited to the point that it's not sustainable anymore. Our fish stocks are going, and that it's not impacting in the local economy. It's not impacting on the national economy. And again, as a nation, we are not doing anything about it. But again, people who are directly impacted are Gambians who cannot afford fish anymore. But look at the other direct, and how it affects the people that live around the fish meal farms. These are all things that we need to look at as people. But at least, and again, as Kombonkers, how do we take the lead from this? How do we take the lead from this? We need to change this. We need to stop this. Yeah, the resources are national resources. It belong to all of us, but the impact is directly impacting on us more than the rest of the population. Yes, the rest of the population are affected due to the price of the fish and stuff like that, but we are affected the price of fish, but it's the rivers our rivers are polluted, which affects everyone. The environment is damaged, affects everyone, but again affects us directly, because the water table that polluted is the same water table we are directly going to drink. Yeah, gradually probably it get to other areas, but before that the Kombonkers will feel it more. So on and so on. This is why we call for that leadership among Kombonkers. It's not criticizing them that they are not doing what they're supposed to do, but we are engaging Kombonkers to think about this. Now, if you think about, as you said, the human capital in Kombo, within Kombo, we think about the social capital within Kombo, a very enriched condition, and with all these resources within Kombo, that should benefit Kombonkers as it benefit nationally. Not few people coming, I mean, and robbing the community and robbing the nation at the same time. Why is this happening? This is where it will sound like a blame, but it's a fact that we need to identify, that it's allowed because of the people who are supposed to represent Kombo are not represent Kombo. Look at the quality of MPs we produce from the Kombo. Look at the population of Kombo and how many MPs do they have to represent, to be representing them at the National Assembly. Why this is not an issue to make sure this imbalance is addressed. It takes almost 40,000 or more votes. Competing for almost 60,000 votes. For someone to come out as an MP in Kombo, where it takes about less than 10,000 votes, somewhere in the Foni or Banjul or other areas in the country, for someone to come out as this thing. Why those smaller population, 30,000 votes from Banjul can produce 4 MPs. But how many thousand votes in Kombo produce 4 MPs? How many thousand votes are in Foni? Producing 5 MPs. How many thousand votes does it take to produce 5 MPs in Kombo? These are all things that Gambia as nation we should address. It affect us nationally, but it directly affect Kombo, their representation, if you come to the politics of it. But the quality of candidates too. Yes, candidates are put up by political party, but again, the people from Kombo have a say and should hold themselves responsible for producing, the lesser qualified people among themselves to be representing them in parliament. Not only probably capacity in way of knowledge and experience, but again even integrity, people that will look the other way to make sure their pockets are filled, but not that their community that send them out there or constituencies that send them out there, they are represented. These are issues that need to be discussed, and the leaders of Kombo need to talk and discuss it. These are the ways they can build the structures with the capacity that is needed to make sure they take control. And as I pointed out, that if Kombo can, because Kombo has the potential to achieve this and to be a shining example that would be translated, or that can be play out in Nyomi, that can be play out in Badibu, that can be play out in other regions, in Foni and others. This is why we are talking, the urgency of addressing Kombo. These are the reasons we are talking about this. If we look at the VDCs and every other structural layers put there, local government, we will be disappointed. And if we come to the point of Alcalo, Safehold, and everything else, we are disappointed. In most cases, I'm not saying entirely all the VDCs, I'm not saying entirely all the Alcalo, I'm not saying entirely all the Safeholds. But it's a failure. Because if they have worked effectively, these things would have been addressed. Look at the land that are given out from Kombo, and go and find out how many Kombos even own land. You'll be very surprised. You'll be surprised. Yes, I understand the politics of it. Yes, some people within Kombo have so much, and they took that and just sold it out, sell it out for themselves. But this is what we criticizing also. We are not only criticizing central government for the problems, we are criticizing ourselves. We know that most of the land is gone, but there's something else left. The environment is left with us. That's another area we need to tackle. We know that the mining is continuing. We need to tackle these issues. We need to deal with all these things, and it needs leadership for it to happen. And that leadership have to come from being organized to make sure in every position or all aspect of life of Kombo is looked after. I know how much many people are trying to organize themselves. I know communities in Kombo, be it Gunju, be it Kartong, and others that have interacted one way or the other, or individuals who are involved in campaign, who are involved in trying to do stuff, be in the medical field, be the environment, be in trying to help deprived community to education, and so on and so forth. But why are they not achieving that much? It's because of it's not organized. Why they are not achieving that much? They cannot even influence policy. And you cannot bring about change without policy reforms. And those policy reforms would be something that captured your interests. But if you are divided, if we are divided in Kombo, based not on politics, no, it's based on selfish interests. We use the political arms in order to get our selfish interests, but it's not the politics itself. There's nothing wrong about any community having many political parties run there, or people serve different political parties. That's not a problem. We can still serve different political party, or have loyalty to different political party, or belong to different political party, and still understand the dynamics of our local politics or our interests as a community. Especially not as a community only, but nationally as well. How do we represent ourselves nationally? These are things that are needed to be addressed in order to move forward. If not, the failure of Kombo is already having an impact, because of if it can be done in Kombo, where else would it be done? That's why if it can be done in Foni, in Kombo, if it is progressive, we can say where else it couldn't be done. If it can be done in Kombo and it's not progressive, it's detrimental to the people and the communities, then it's going to be replicated again. This is why we're calling for that leadership in Kombo to go. Let me give an example. Even the time of the dictatorship, it's not cowardism. No. It's not cowardism. Congolans are not cowards. Gambians are not cowards for that matter. I'll give an example. In 2016, when the youths of Kartong stood up against the dictator for what? Environmental destruction, mining. This is when actually I came in contact where in those days you used to have Viber groups, Viber before WhatsApp. Kombo, I think it's Kombo not and Kombo South. I was in both groups, and most of the people in the group were on the ground. They were in Kombo itself, but there are so many of them who were in the diaspora here, and literally they were all young people. I was one of the oldest in those groups, and they supported the resistance against the dictator. Social media, it was not on political lines or anything. It went on even to the Brikama courts until the dictator left. I think that case got squashed. They stood up, they fought, but that's not enough. What next? When these things are occurring, they are continuing. We are seeing what's happening in every corner. How can an Indian man be given hectares and hectares, using different names to have hectares and hectares? This development levies and all these levies, it's not fit for purpose. Communities need to be empowered so that accountability can hold. This is right now, almost every community in Kombo, there's a crisis. Why it's not been solved? You have the political patrons. And this is what I want us to look at in the case of the Kartong VDC. Let me come to it. The second reason of bringing up this program, as I said, most of the views I express are not views that I just come across today or few days or few months or few years. It has been with me for a long time due to interactions I have with many people from different communities in Kombo, different activities, in Kombo and so on. But again, all of this. But what made me actually come this afternoon to talk about Kombo, it is actually to address an issue sent to me a few days ago about what is happening in Kartong area. And when I sent the first article, and it raised discussions, and someone I'm not going to name, someone I knew from Gunjur and Kartong, that in fact I came across in 2016 when we were advocating for the Kartong youths arrested, approached me, and he shared his, he agreed that most of what is reported is accurate, but he said there's another side of the story. And when he said the other side of the story, what he said was, oh, do the people advocating for this too are doing it for their personal interest, not for the national interest. He said this. And he gave set examples of what he alleged that these people are engaged in. And the person said again, acknowledge that almost everything these people said was true, but just saying that because they have alternative. And he said that actually there are two VDCs in Kartong. These people belong to one, or there's another VDC. You see, the thing I'm saying, I was talking about us not being organized. How can we have two VDCs in a village? Okay. Finally, where we concluded, I said to him, look at when we publish for the greater good. I don't know these people who I engage. What I know is what they send me. I did a due diligence on it and find, the context to be right, and if there are so much of facts, because the case has been had in the courts. I have access to court documents and so on. This is why I am involved. I am not involved because I'm related or I'm a friend to any individual within Kartong involved in this dispute. And I said, what they are complaining or fighting for, all if they have they're angry or they have dispute against another group, it's not what is presented on the write-up shared with me and what have presented. This is of a national interest. You see, this is what, after talking to the gentleman who I know to be very sincere, and thinking about it, I said, this is the problem. We are facing not only in this case in Kartong, but entirely the nation, the country itself. But this is an opportunity to look at it this way, that if Kombo itself, be it Kartong or Kombo, to come together as a region to start to look at all the things that affect them and see how they're going to take up this challenge, from the political to resource and everything that that we've been signing example to be used across the nation. This is what inspired me to start, get engaged in this discussion. Now, there's a think tank. There's a think tank called Securing Futures. It's dealing with land and environmental issues. The think tank is very new, led by led by Ahmed Manjang's, Dave Mane, and other people I'm not familiar with. But at least this is a start. That structures have been built now. This is a start. They're building their capacity. They have built a website. They are trying to recruit people to join. And it's not, it might be a Kombo-led thing. It might mention Kombo, but it's a national program that they want to unleash out there. You can come from any corner of the Gambia and join, especially if you have a unique capacity. But again, it's to do with a lot of things, community, impacting community, that many people are qualified to join this. They have a website, Securing Futures. Type it on Google, you can have access to that website and list on this. Now, this is a side of leadership. We know of Gunjur, we have seen Ahmed Manjang on others involved in other environmental programs, the turtles, preservations and other stuff and all these things. These are all things that are very progressive and can advance the needs of the people. But without proper structures that can challenge the political, the administrative political aspect of governance, they are not going to go forward. This is why it's important that the human resource capital they have, the social capital they have, they understand that to build more, not just to start here, to make sure, in fact, the people that lead, that will represent them in parliament are fit for purpose and are there for the national interest, and especially for the people they represent directly. To make sure they have their share of parliamentarians in parliament. To make sure every policy that affects them directly, any development that comes in, be in land allocation, be in even the existing infrastructures put in there, how does that impact on their life, and what leverage or what share of ownership they can have on it. But again, to able to fight the environmental destruction that is occurring in the Kombo, or continues to occur in the Kombo. The resources being lifted out of the Kombo. These are things that they have to organize. This is the reason we're talking about this. Now let's come to the report we have from the Kombo VDC. I'm made aware there's a second VDC, but I don't know about that VDC because I've never been contacted by them. But if they contact me with, as I keep on saying, I don't have this absolute capacity and time to deal with every case. But hence I have picked on this. I will give them the right to rebuttal or to give an alternative narrative if they wish to, for people to share. That's why we create the platform. It's not mine per se. I have responsibility, I have leadership, I have ownership in it, but as other people have, this is why we have a platform. The village of Kartong, which is a village that most Gambians know about or heard about, probably they have not visited. Because everybody will say from Karan to Kartong, from Karan to Kartong. But by personal experience, it's one of the most beautiful places you will find on earth, for that matter. If it is preserved well, it has potential to develop in a unique way because of the vulnerability it has to climate change and environment. But with a national policy on tourism, environment and others, that place would be a place to die for. People want to live there, people want to open businesses there, and it will impact very positively in the gathering or building up our GDP. This is a place very strategic, as well as it's a border village to Senegal and customers vulnerable to other ends. As a soldier, I have patrolled that end, I have crossed many sides of that place, but again, as a citizen or a person, I have visited, I have enjoyed what it had to offer. the nature, the flora and the fauna of it. But if you see the pictures that we have shared, how the environment, the amount of, I mean, big holes been dug because of the topsoil is taken off, and the sand and dunes and anything else that is serving as a barrier to protect the village have been taken out and for construction outside the village. I mean for demand, for the high demand of sand. And to the extent that because of the rainy seasons are coming, and this mining is illegal, it's not permitted, but it's happening. Mostly it happens in the night, and these people are banking now on land, collecting heaps, the mountains and mountains actually of land, of sand, to avoid getting stuck when the rain comes, so that they can continue to take the sand away. Every day, 24, most of the night is dark, and even say that it only happened in night, but some people tell you, no, it happened in the day. You just have to know who to bribe, and you'll be allowed to do this. This is happening. It's not that it didn't happen. It's happening. We see the evidence. Now, a particular group addressing themselves as the VDC, which I accept in face value, but there's nothing else apart from someone saying, oh, there's another VDC. I don't know which one would be called the legitimate one or not, but why I engage this is they have shown proof, evidence that they are fighting against something. Now, knowing the environment in the area, the geographical location of Kartong, you know that it's got this Atlantic almost on two sides and a river on the other side. When we know that in 2016, when the dictator was digging in certain areas, we had of the accidents happen with children drowning and all the stuff. But this thing's going to happen. But again, most of the area they are excavating now, taking the sand. These are the sand dunes serving as barriers to protect the village. Technically they are doing this at their own backyard. I was told by the person I spoke to this morning that actually it was agreed that sand can be mined, but just for only people living in the village for their use. But that's not been observed. Now every Tom, Dick and Harry is digging and taking the sand away. And this person alleged that one of the people belonging to the VDC that's talking to me actually was caught using a donkey cart by transporting sand and so on. These are allegations that he made, and I have no reason to think that he will lie about that. But it comes to the mix of that. The major problem is sustainability and environmental destruction and the risk that it poses to the people that live in that village. This is what these people are championing. And they said that the people leading this destruction are patrons or executive members of the NPP. Let's stop there for a minute. And the passing of Lamin Jamba Jammeh, NPP chairman for West Coast, Lamin Bojang, NPP chairman for Kartong, and Mansour Tabali. Mansour Tabali, I'm not sure whether it's NPP or not, but it's these three are responsible for the major, according to the allegations here, of the major destruction and the lifting of sand, excavating and lifting of sand and destroying the sand dunes in Kartong. And now, due to their political affiliation to NPP, they have an influence onto the administration that they can do as they wish and nothing comes out of it. And these are not allegations, because of, I'll get down to what have transpired. and the deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, sad to say that, say that name on the House, Sidin Jai, apparently is one person that they are using to influence or to make sure they have undue authority and influence their activity. The people that reported in this matter from the VDC said that they went to Gunjuk police station several times. They've tried everything with the police. They even went to the Inspector General of Police and sat with him to report this matter. Nothing came out of it. These people continue to do what they are doing. Then on the 2nd of June 2025, they take up legal action. And this is something that all stakeholders are aware of, this discussion going on. And why this is interesting is most of this is how the NPP are ruling our country. They'll create patrons to do whatever they want. Those people are doing it for themselves, to build generation wealth for themselves, for their families, when communities are deprived and the nation is deprived. Just as we've seen Ababakar Jawara given that opportunity, and others given that opportunity, and these people are given the same opportunity, so that they will be loyal to the NPP, and they would have funds to channel to their activities to buy people within the communities to support the NPP. This is just as the level, as we see the level of drug trafficking in the Gambia, which we all know now and identify people who are known to be sponsoring the NPP, getting involved in this, and nothing come out of these cases. They are not even arrested or even called for questioning, but the people at the lower end engaged in this activity are arrested. But in fact, if those people are willing to challenge them, the case doesn't go anywhere. As we have right now, we have dozens of soldiers arrested for drug trafficking, but the case is not been even mentioned in the press, or press statement made by the armed forces or the government, or case taken to the courts, because of the risk that if these things are let to get to the due process, some of their sponsors of the NPP would be uncovered, taking part in this, and in fact, State House might be implicated in the trafficking of drugs. Now, in this case, it's sand mining. With everything that it does, the environment and these things, these people are protected because they are executive members, they are mobilizers, they are people that will in the politics of it. This is why I'm saying that then the average Kombonka, just as any region in the Gambia, should take stake of this and make sure these people like this don't represent them within their midst. Let them engage and organize to make sure they stop these things happening. But these people proceeded and to take this to the courts. On the 2nd, 2025, there was they lodged the case and for hearing, and lawyer El Kombo was representing them as the plaintiff, and lawyer Waiba was representing the defendants. The defendants are the executive members, Lamin Jamba Jammeh, Lamin Bojang, and Mansour Tabali in the courts. But interesting, as the case was called up, the director of public prosecution, that's the chief legal advocate for government. When government need a lawyer to go to the courts, he is the most senior one that goes to the court, apart from the Minister of Justice or the Solicitor General. Technically, in any of this criminal proceeding, Mr. A.M. Yusuf, a foreigner, who would come and represent the government. A.M. Yusuf appeared alongside the defense, seeking for the case to be struck out. Now, interesting, And from what these people reported, that A.M. Yusuf intervened because of Sidinjai Acts, or the NPP wanted this case to be struck out because they want to protect their executive members, to continue to destroy the environment, to continue to earn wealth from that operation, so that their elections and their campaign and their mobilizations would be carried out. Because one would ask, why would the DPP jump on a private prosecution to represent the state? This case must be very important to them, to send the DPP out. They have other lawyers at the AG chambers to send, but they had to send the DPP to make sure they have the undue influence asserted onto this case to derail the case. And the principal magistrate, Anna Mendy, sat over this case. And interesting, and what objection the DPP brought out is, the DPP said that there's a law that prohibits cases, private cases of this nature, to be brought to the courts without seeking permission at the AG chambers. That is just crazy. That's just crazy. And this law is new. That tells you the failure, the continued failing of our National Assembly. Why would a private matter would have to go to the AG chambers for it to be, give the go ahead? You see, this is just kind of the constitution they wanted to give us. So that why would a private matter cannot be determined directly by the educator at the courts, whether it has merit or not? Why does it have to go to the AG chambers? When there's a crime being committed, the AG chambers, the DPP and others are, if the cases went to the police, should have come to them and they will prosecute the case. Private citizens should not be taking private decisions if things work out well. Because of the NPP have mechanism in place to stop any case going through the police due process, through the police to AG chambers. Now, even if you take a legal action privately, they find a way to stop it. Interesting that this case was lodged on the 2nd of June 2025. But the new law, the DPP is quoted, was brought into effect 6 June 2025. The drafting of the law, the process the law had to go in and everything, before it came into effect, that this case was already lodged to the courts. It was already in the corridors of the court, 2nd June. Then the retroactive, the law cannot affect the cases that are already in the court. This is the counter argument. When the DPP made an argument to say that, look, this case should not be heard because it did not go through the right channels. What channels? It did not go through the AG chambers to seek permission. Because there's a law that says that they have to come to the AG chambers for permission. The defense led by LK Mboj countered that argument to say that no, this particular case is not affected because this case was already in existence before the law come to play. Then cannot be the law cannot be retroactively applied in this case. The principal magistrate, Anna Mendy, adjourned the case to rule the case at a subsequent day, which she set to be the 16th of July 2025. On July, according to the people we spoke to, 16th of July 2025, the case was meant to be had about midday or around 1 o'clock, some around, I'm not sure around exactly time, but around midday to 1 o'clock. But something interesting happened according to the people, that the clerk of the court turned up to say that all the other cases would be adjourned. The only case to be had would be Kartong case. and they brought the Kartong case, and who appeared again? The DPP had appeared to fight for this case to be struck out. And the argument was based on legal technical arguments. It was not the merit of the case that the crimes have been committed. Now they went to the courts to argue on technical, rather than the spirit of the law or the context of the crime that have been committed. That an environment is been destroyed, and this is posing a threat to the inhabitants of that village of Kartong. The principal magistrate Anna Mendy agreed on that there's a merit of the case, but on technical grounds the case cannot be had, which the defense, which the plaintiff, the village development committee lawyer Kombo was not happy about, and Kombo is looking to appeal this case. But since then, the judgment, Kombo cannot get hold of the judgment. This is where the case stood at the moment. Now we are seeing the practical ways. Now the judiciary in fact is failing the people. This is more so to show the government we have in place right now. It's a government that is trying to apply unilateral powers, which is anti-democratic, because they are trying to stifle the rule of law, the due process, in order to determine outcome of any complaints or adjudication in the courts. This particular case, this is why I'm interested. It's not about the environment alone. It's not about the environment destruction alone. It's not only about the threat it poses to the people of Kartong. And the environment does not only affect Kartong, it will affect our nation, and in fact beyond our nation. That's what happens with when you mess up with environment. This is a national concern. But I am more worried about the rule of law, the abuse of rule of law and due process, where now citizens cannot go through the police to make sure things are recorded when crimes happen, and the police would do their job to make sure the issues are addressed. Now the NPP have the means and to use a due influence to stop that. People having the rule of law play in. But not only that, even if it gets to the courts, the NPP would jump in there to stop it, because of their executive who are benefiting from the resources and abusing the environment that's going to affect populations and affect the nation. And this is the exact stuff why the country have turned out to be a drug hub. Now the law enforcement agencies, their oversight institutions are not doing anything to arrest this country to become a narco state. It's already a narco state. Now the judiciary is actually playing the same role. We haven't seen any effective judicial proceedings against the big people around these drugs. And because of those big people are sponsoring the NPP, are sponsoring the president, and this is where the state capture plays. Just as we talked about yesterday, this is why citizens would need to. And I say the people in Kartong or anywhere else, it will come a time direct action would only be the solution. Just as when Kartong youths came out during the dictatorship in 2016, direct action and stopped the development, the dictator's development of or destruction of their environment, and it went to the courts until the dictator left the country and those cases were struck out. Then people would be vulnerable when they are not in numbers. Now, these issues are affecting the entire nation, but more so directly affecting Kombo. This is why the discussion here was started to talk about Kombo, its people, resources, and land and stuff like that. I think this is why we are advocating for people from Kombo to take the lead. So take the lead in the part of their ownership, so that they can lead and other Gambians can follow. They have the intellectual capacity, they have the social capacity, in order to take this lead. And just as we said that people like Ahmed Manjan, Dave Mane, and others are doing right now, by having their small organization, firefighting and everything else would not solve it. They will need our support to build the structures and capacitate these structures, make sure these resources needed are there to take on this government and any government that comes. They have to take them on now, and they will have to make sure any policy or all the policies or the laws existing right now which are not fit for purpose are addressed to make sure they're fit for purpose for the nation. And as we said, we are addressing this because the urgency at the Kombo, land have already vanished, finished, but the environment is still there, the resources are still there, they need it to be challenged. And we are calling for the people of Kombo to take that leadership so that they can be shining example, because it's already, these issues are already started in the Foni, and it's already started in the Nyomi. And in fact, if you go through the upper river division, where agricultural land is fertile or access to water along the river banks and so on, they are already there speculating and taking over land, depriving the communities from it. Then these laws we have, they are not fit for purpose, the policies are not fit for purpose, and the government does not have the political will to do things for the interests of the nation, and they are depriving the people within these areas, and doing so they are using the citizens of those constituencies environment to do it, be the local political representatives, be it the local government representatives and opinion leaders. This is why we need to be organized and make sure we tackle all this. Kombo need their representations felt as rightly it should be. The population they have, we need to see that boundaries are drawn, electoral boundaries are drawn to make sure they have the representative MPs. But it's not only about the amount of MPs they have, the quality of MPs, people with knowledge and integrity. This is why it's not only that we are going to challenge the NPP, but we should challenge every political party that that wants to be represented, to make sure that they are selecting the people that would represent the Kombo nationally, but again would directly represent our constituency that voted them in. These are the policies, these are things that we choose to discuss today, and have a good evening. Thank you very much, guys.
Faratala. Dafa nekk loo xam ne dañ ko waree def ànd ak masla baaxut. Gis nga social media is one of Gambia's worst enemy, because just because am nga the right to wax doesn't mean ne danga wara wax. Right bi yàlla moo la ko jox, moo tax ñu am freedom of expression. Waaye it boo choose ne danga bëgg exercise right bi, danga wara am purpose, danga wara am knowledge, be pare danga wara am conviction. Lii nag dafa manki ci Gambian, moo tax man léegi dama dee tayal duga ci platform yi Gambian wax fa, because Gambian bi normally we shoot the messenger instead of the message. Kiy wax lañoo xool rather than lim wax. Ñaareel bi ñun dañ am feebar boo xam ne mu ngi tudda dog eat dog, crab in a barrel. Doo dem waaye man duma dem waaye yow it doo dem. And li gën a indi loolu dañ am a social complex. Social complex bi mooy kii dafa foog ndax ne dafa jànga. Yow di moment nga ne kii dafa foog na danga jànga, kooku waxut loolu de, yow yaa ko gisee noonu. So yow am na lu manki ci yow. Kii dafa foog ndax moo ñu gën, kii dafa foog ndax moo ñu gën a bugga dara. Loolu complex la, and lii dafa bari si ñun ba nga xam ne saa yuñ dee am conversation duñ dee mun a wax conversation boo xam ne logic moo ko lal, emotion moo ko dee lal. So moo tax ñun soo xoolee suñ daje yëpp duñ dee mun a am daje boo xam ne dina indi convergence, dinañ waxtaan mu mel ni dañ jógee comme vie. Soo jëlee vie nga juutal ko fu yaatu fi nga am benga am ñaari chatli fi ñaari tase ñaari bantay fi ñoo tase mu nekk V ñun suñu waxtaan du dee demee noonu suñu waxtaan nim dee demee fi nga dee dooree di binda V foofu la ñoo jógee ñuy gën a ubbeeku di gën a tasaaroo ba V bi jeex loolu mooy the mindset of the Gambian and loolu li ko gën a indi ñaaka xam personal hatred because bala nga hate nit dafa fekk yow nga hate sa boppa self hate dafa mel ni max dafa dugga ci xanxa di ko lekk xanxa baa ngi rafet ci biti waaye biir xanxa bi dara nekkaatu fa Gambian bi attitude yi max la am moo tax ma ne ngeen baalal ma xasuma kedde te it's not directed to anyone si ñi nekk yépp ci plateforme bi waaye dafa nekk jikko boo xam ne ci Gambian yi daf fi bari soo gisee ñu bari ñoo xam ne waroon nañoo mun a doxal dëkka waroon nañoo mun a bokk si liy support nit pour mu nekk president run a government i.e. serve as minister director general and others bokkuñ ci is the attitude of the Gambian man dama dee wax ne the Gambian intelligence soo xoolee dëkk bi 2.5 2.8 million nga xool place yi ñu amee ci international organizations yi relative to the population of the country nga xam ne Gambia am na human resource but unfortunately ñooñu dañoo retire ñoo lem seen loxo yi toog why because of attitude the overwhelming majority of Gambian am it's not the substance that an individual has to contribute to make the country better but kan lañ foog ndax ne mooy individual bi I am not a sympathizer supporter or fan of Essa but I respect his intellect and I think he has a vision now whether his vision can be translated into real life I have never tested his proposed policies so loolu moom duma ci mën a wax lu sori because soo riidee te xootuloo duguloo ci biir soo waxee da ngay waxee xol man dumay bëgg a waxee xol so but lim wax ne moom la bëgg a def rafet na possible na ndax possible loolu óorut ma and back to the issue of Yaya Jammeh su Yaya Jammeh jëloon tali Gambia yëpp mu PV ko góol xale yi yëpp mu yóbbu leen school ñu jànga ku jeexal am liggéey ku bugg a taka jabar sax nguur gi jox la so long as ñu ngi tuur benn dereti Gambien Yaya Jammeh lim def dafa niil duma ne def na bii bu baax def na bii bu bon because one Gambian life taken without justice is one too many so man suma toogee dégga nit ñi some people ñuy condone ne Yaya Jammeh dafa war a ñëwaat I see it as self-hate te self-hate boobu li ko indi mu ngi gën a sax di gën a law tey mooy ne ñun ba tey mënuñoo xoolee suñ boppa as a group of people dañ xoolee suñ boppa as little groups that live in a bigger group lan moo indi loolu dañ from independence to date dañ am dëkk boo xam ne nekkutoon ci equity doxaluñ ko ci mérite Jawara Yaya Jammeh Barrow so loolu noonu dafa indi sibooru dafa indi ñeeyaate dafa indi jealousy ba nga xam ne ñetta ñi luy yaaxa dëkk loolu laa mun a nekk waaye du luy liggéey dëkk kuy sibooru kuy ñee ku hate nit ak añaane ko loolu mënut a nekk ingredient yu mun a liggéey dëkk so therefore man li ma dégga ci waxtaan bi in some quarters ak comments yi ma doon read maa ngi read dëkk boo xam ne bugante wuñ maa ngi read dëkk boo xam ne dañ ñeeyaate maa ngi read dëkk boo xam ne dañ añaane wante te nag nit ki ñu ne Martin Luther King mu ne ñun waruñ ñoo judge by the color of our skin this time du ma ne color la ñoo use waruñoo judge nit because dañ foog ne dafa jànga torop o dafa jógee ci kër gu am o dafa jógee ci tribe nangam dañ war a judge nit ci content of his or her character and the abilities yim am pour jël society make ko a better place. Does Gambia have people who are currently out there looking to be presidents who are presidential material? The answer is yes. Do they have the support of Gambians? The answer is no. Because ñun Gambians, duñ they vote based on program, policies, and agenda. We vote on mun nga solu ndax mënuloo solu, mun nga wax ndax mënuloo wax, olof nga ndax soose nga, pol nga ndax saraxule nga. Gambia ñooñu mënuñ koo liggéey ki mën a liggéey Gambia mooy ki am devotion dedication conviction to the country we all call Gambia budul loolu ñun ñëpp dañoo nekk fii te dañoo tardel suñ bopp so su fekkee ne bëgg nañ dëkk bi dem I think suñ attitude suñ mindset dafa war a nekk ci leen and ñun ñëpp losers lañ kiy support Barrow loser la kiy support Essa Faal loser la kiy support UDP loser la because amuñ convergence ñëwuñ ñu dajaloo ci luy njëriñ loo réew mi ñun ñëpp ñu ngi dem ci luy njëriñ loo ay nit ak njëriñ loo ay groups so su fekkee ne waxtaan bi dafa war a progressive dañ war a waxtaan on programs policies ñi fee waxtaan Essa Faal Barrow Ousainou Darboe Halifa hardly ñu wax lan la ñooñu teg pour change the misery that we are all collectively in and I wish the moderators of this platform su yéena wax doore ñu dog ko wax sa xalaat dafa baax waaye xalaat bu dul yóbbu dëkk bi kanam yokka askan bi ñu cement together waruñ koo déglu and that's not undemocratic because we want a productive discourse that will lead to prosperity for all not prosperity for some te ñun niñ gisee Gambia from Jawara to Barrow is prosperity for some ñi foog na ne dañ master game bi ñooñu ñooy ñi nga xam ne léegi dañ ñàkk jom ñàkk ngor da nga bugg a succeed àndal ak kii li moo def correctut waaye day wax ne moo correct sa bamba di maas loolu Gambia du dem moo tax dëkk bi personal development mu ngi fee am waaye collective development amul collective development li tax amul bokkuñ xalaat c'est suñ ne bokkuñ xalaat waxuñ bokkuñ political party de waaye bokkuñ gis-gis pour develop Gambia we can all be in different political parties waaye ñu am benn gis-gis ne Gambia forward nag soo ko jiitalee doo xoolaat Halifa doo xool Essa doo xool Ousainou Darboe programs and policies ngeen a xool jërëjëf Mohamed
maa laa déglu
nga baalal ma aha su fekkee ne suma wax bi dafa ñàkk a teegin jubluwuma ci loolu déedéet not yow man laa wax suma wax bi su fekkee ne dafa ñàkk a teegin nga baalal ma jubluwuma ci loolu waaye dama la déglu nga ne groupe bi fuñ demee loolu ngaa demee loolu la ñoo ooyee hard mentality géta te ñun duñ nag waa may ma duñ ay non du yow yaa tax ma wax moo tax ma ne nga baalal ma aha sa xalaat boobu Gambien su bari dañ ko am te loolu du politique xam nga luy politique nit ki yow kenn individuality nga xalaat lan nga foog ndax moo gën ci yow ak naka nga bugg a sa dëkk demee ko ak dañoo yow
parce que man tey su fekkee ne yow nga bugg a wax noonu de am nga tey wax bi nga wax nii dafa nekk wax bu nga xamante ne nii xëj na yow li ma wax dégguloo ko parce que tey man
no waaye Mohamed xaaral mu daal
xam naa lu mu bugg a wax dama ko bugg a wax lu ndaw rek parce que
yow bu xaaba nga xam nga li mu bugg a wax nettali sa génti morom
kii lu mu wax nii tey man su fekkee ne ñëw naa Gambia ma fekk ñi ëpp doole yëpp ñu ngi ànd ak Essa Faal nga dem faree ji ak keneen bu ma def loolu damaa dem fa nit ji ëppee doole ma ànd ak ñoom parce que ma ak ñoom ñoo bokk réew mi
waaw kon da nga ñàkk conviction
déedéet
soo amee conviction
du ma dem ma def divide ak suma réew ko su ma demee su ma ñëwee Gambie ma fekk ñëpp ñu ngi ànd ak Essa Faal ifin su ma bugut ànd ak Essa Faal sax dinaa dem ma ànd ak moom because suma réew la so lii moo tax
waaw ok man tey su ma ñëwoon Gambia ñëpp ànd ak Essa Faal te gowuma Essa Faal du ma ànd ak Essa Faal number one because nit da nga war a am lu ñu ooyee conviction mooy ngëm li nga def da nga ko war a gëm and loolu du sa problème de problème yi overwhelming majority of Gambians la ñun we are trendy and we follow the trend and following the trend mooy comme ngelaw gi di fuufee nii di yóbbu waale xoppi ñun ñu demaale xoppi waaye dama la waxal ne dëkk li ko wécci mooy citizen bi xam lan la bugga xam na ñi ko laajte ñu ngi koo jox liñ bugga ñoom loolu mooy awareness moo tax ma ne ñun we are living in a highly technological world a world full of information but ñun ñëpp ñi fee wax tey mun naa laa ñeme naa taxaw ne soo jëlee 10 nit nga laaj leen luy programme yi Essa te ñoom Essa la ñoo support 7 yëpp xamuñ ko kon ñu ngi support ESA blindly loolu dafa wrong.
Very wrong.
te dama use ESA as an example across the board.
It's okay.
So dëkk bi tey suñ buggee mu dem te yow ne da nga bugga sa dëkk xam nga bugga dëkk du xol xel la. te ñun average Gambian bi dañ am problème yi xol. brain bi duñ ko dee use pour mu xalaatal ñu suñ xol bi lañ dee use mu xalaatal ñu moo tax ñu am tribal sentiment moo tax ñu am religious sentiment because emotional logic la ñoo use not rational mooy sa xel xalaatal la te nag yàlla daf ñu may xel pour ñuy xalaat fii ku fi eew dangaa joxe dépense fay school fees cash power toppatoo sa boppa laajal sa boppa ndax yaa ngi ko am in the current space. If the answer is no, so delloo li ci current space bi ndax sa life dafa change the answer nga ansalaat ko sa boppa nit ki lii nga war a laaj sa boppa sooy jël decision. The most important thing for a citizen is the exercising their right to partake in election. Waaye li tax ñu ne la nga exercise ko pour nga empower sa boppa pour nga empower sa boppa da nga war a xool kuy make sa life better waxuma mu dugal la xaalis directly sa poste de waaye mu create environment nga fas jom góorgóorlu mun koo make waaye ñun lan lañ foog toppal politician nga dimbale ko mu win mu dimbale la nga am dara déedéet politician da nga koo toppa mu create the environment pour yow nga use sa jom sa mun ak sa doole nga become a better Gambian nga am dépense bu doy am weccit yóbbu ko bank am savings loolu la nit ki war a xalaat but unfortunately ñun ñëpp kuy support Lawyer Darboe kuy support ESA kuy support Halifa they're not doing it mostly out of logic they're doing it out of emotion moo tax dëkk bi for over 60 something them 70 years mënuta dem because suñ decision si all emotionally driven and not logically driven léegi time fii ba election soriwut relative to nit ñi wecceeku waaye di bare minimum bi nit ki war a mun a defal boppam ñun ñëpp dañ am ngegenaay suñ si tëddee buñ use suñ xol bi pour mu jox ñu décision nañ use suñ xel yi mu jox ñu décision tey su life bi jeexee bañ tëddi war a nelaw ñu audit ndax man fi ma support foofu laa war a support not ne xam naa ko not ne bugga naa ko ndax baax na ci man nit ki bala ngaa seet ndax baax na ci askan bi yëpp dangaa dooree sa boppa because human beings are rationally selfish so sa boppa nga koo dooree den nga translate ko ci askan bi moo tax ñun suñ bàyyut di herd mentality gétta gi ñu jàppee ki ñoo toppa saama bi ñun ñëpp ñu nekk nag xam nga olof su ne nag moo tax ma ne ngeen baalal ma suñ ne nag mooy lu amut xel olof su la ne yow nag nga amuloo xel saaguma fi kenn nag ngeen baalal ma waaye attitude boobu dañ ko war a disrupt njëkka ñun dañ am xeli nag mooy su saama bi ne ure ñëpp toppi fi saama bi di demee taxaw non serious
lu nga waxee nii ñun amuñ xeli nag
man waxuma la de
dégg la laajte brother
bro non kii lu ma wax fii nii kii
waaw moo tax ma ne bul xoolee suma wax bi xaste
non yow lu nga waxee nii nekkul wax bu nga xamante ne nii danga ko war a waxee nii si
déedéet bul ci gis sa boppa man waxuma la
non gisuma suma boppa de yàlla xam na ne gisuma suma
waaw may ma man dama dugga fii for one reason and one reason alone
léegi yow dama la bëgg a laaj question yow léegi yow sa gis-gis yow kan nga am yaakaar ne moo mën a nekk président 26 li nga wax ñu yow sa yaakaar kan moo mën a nekk président 26
ok léegi su ma la Samba Fall moo mun a nekk président in 2026
dang ñu wax candidat yi ñu xam
Samba Fall
ok yow kooku nga faral
déedéet faruma moom laa foog faruma fa de moom laa foog
moom moo la doy
xam nga Samba Fall
asalaamaaleykum maa ngi leen
xam nga Samba Fall
non
xam nga Samba Fall
man xawma
gaañu pare
Samba Fall génnaagut ñëwagut dama la jox tur rek so right now su fekkee ne Gambian nga da nga war a shop presidential election is a shopping
waaye ñun lu ñu
supermarket bi
intéressé
may ma soo duggee si shopping bi nga bëgg a poti tamaate am na maybe 7 façon yi poti tamaate waaye gisaguloo poti tamaate yëpp so right now li nga def seetal lan nga ci bugaagum waaye nga bàyyi nga ubbi sa mind pour lu mun a ñëw te ñëwagut that's why man tuddal la turi Samba Fall xam amul sax ku bugg a taxaw ku tudda Samba Fall waaye jongante gi aagaagut foo war a close sa mind su fekkee ne
26
you
mu ngi
want
egg
the
ba
best.
pare kenn xamul ku war a nekk président
waaye toolooguñ fa presidential election dafa am calendar brother calendar presidential election jotagut fu mu nekk ñiy génna dañ génna pour ñu gis leen déglu leen waaye xaaral bañ ne lii mooy calendar bi campagne nangam la nga xam ne gis nga ñëpp dégg nga ñëpp
man lu ma ñaan yàlla Adama Barrow mu wàcc nekk génn Gambia de
waaw loolu ñëpp a ko ñaan yàlla de waaye li ma la bëgg a waxal
waaye naa la xamal ne groupe bi su ñun ñëpp suñ continuer nii Adama Barrow dina toogaat
déedéet li ma la bëgg a waxal brother mooy presidential election dafa am calendar bi su fekkee ne doomi réew nga déglul ñëpp bul ne man bëgguma even Barrow déglu ko soo dégloo ñëpp then you use a rational thinking ne man day Essa Faal laa daan support de waaye maa ngi dégga Samba Faal wax na la lu ma musuta dégga kooku mooy ki bugg a Gambia waaye nag su fekkee ne dafa xel benn ne Halifa rek laay saanil Ousainou Darboe rek laay saanil kii rek laay saanil kooku bugut Gambia nit la bugga maa ngi am fii ngeen baal ma
waaye foog naa ne Chill Boy dafa am a question
balaa Chill Boy di ñëw rek one second dafa am lu ma bëgg a leeral fii rek after Chill Boy ñëw man li ma wax mooy ñang li mu fi wax nii yëpp dara du ko dindi waaye dafa am loo xam ne tey moom moo nekk di dox ci political party bi nga xam ne moo tudda APP Sobeya tey soo gisee Gambia ñu bari su APP Sobeya member ñëwee di waxtaan about agenda and policies dañ leen dee dëkkale benn kër boo xam ne yéen da ngeen fekk ni yéen ñëpp yéen kese fi jàng it's not about education it's about waaw moo tax
loolu du problème yi ndaje plateforme bi ñu am de loolu feebari Gambia la across the board
moo tax
di nga dégg dafa dangam dafa foog ndax ne moom rek a xam dafa foog ndax moo ñu gën loolu complexe la
loolu dëgg la moo tax nag gis nga rational thinking bi nga wax nii ak emotional thinking bi nga wax nii dafa yàlla dafa fekk dafa def ni tey ñun as Gambians yi nga xam ne ñooy support APP Sobeya we are so rational about whatever li nga xam ne moom moo nekk ci political party boobu noonu ndax tey agenda bi méngoo na ak ki nga xam ne moom mooy jaay agenda bi ak mooy joxe agenda bi balaa ñoo topp APP Sobeya moo tax
waaye léegi li ma la bëgg a laaj I'm happy nga ne yow Essa nga support I'm very happy and proud of your decision and it's your right waaye at the 11th hour suñ toogee ñu am candidate bu tudda Bakary Sambujang mu indi programme boo xam ne li nga yàgg a déglu political programmes dégguloo ko nga toog seega ko nga gis ne lii day njëriñ bi mu am gisuma ku ko am including man suma candidate will you stick to your candidate
moo tax ma wax la ko man ama rational
dama laajte it's a question will you stick to your candidate
I'm sticking to any candidate ko xam ne have a better future for my country
thank you very much man loolu rek laa bëggoon a dégg si yow
yes so lii moo tax ma wax leen lii as for now in Gambia there is no candidate boo xam ne
1 minute nga daaneel dëgg ma ne chill
waaw 1 minute nga daaneel waaw
agenda you can have
non parce que man ci loolu laay dunda ba Gambia ba Essa jël réew mi il faut ma jaay Gambia so li ma wax foofu mooy fi ma daanelee rek mooy comme ni ko ñang waxee yàlla dafa def APP Sobeya any militant or ñun ñi nga xam ne ñooy jaay agenda sax liñ la dee wax mooy tey agenda ak policy ak programme bi nga xam ne tey moom mooy ki nga xam ne APP Sobeya leader amee na ko muy Essa Mbye Fall ak li nga xam ne moom mooy jaar-jaaram ak background am dañ bugg nga gëstu loolu nga saytu ko ak li nga xam ne tey moom lañ laa jox we are different from other political parties yi nga xam ne tey dañoo am cofeel ak mbëggeel ak nopp ki nga xam ne mooy political leader bi man foofu laa doon daanele APP Sobeya moom mooy loolu you know ñun we are rational on everything that we do
jërëjëf Haral chill ak sleep and pray ku jiitu
waaw ma ne man dama
waaw fa naa Chill dafa am a question for ñu
waaye Chill dafa am question
okay
waaw
moment
bro monsieur Ndiaye la nuyu ko jërëjëf ko ma ne man naxalaat yi dama la bëggoon a njëkk a lay tey mus nga dëkk fii naxalaat yi yaram Bamba Estate ye
non
ok kon maybe dama la jaawale
waaye dama daan dem foofu suma benn xarit ay bi
ok non bi dama ko foogoon dafa amoon ku ma ko jaawale woon because of nakalati muson na am case fofu nonu, you know what I mean? So ma fogon ko yow, you know, because they get over similar, you know.
Okay.
Case.
Yeah, it was a long time, you know what I mean?
Baru case sacha.
Avant ko buna lamba, avant ko buna lamba na.
Breaking and enter, yeah.
Baru man do ma sacha kat.
No.
Close party with the Arabs, with the West. Lolo do hell. Yaya Jammeh, if Gambian history is to be written properly with research, coup d'etat was not a coincidence. Everything that happened was scripted. What do I mean by scripted? Jawara jogu dawal bopam duga ci gal ambassador moko ne gaaya ngay ñew nañ dem ci gal suñ péré di nga ñëwaat fekk ñu deal ak ñi mu duga ci gal waxuñ ko ne gal ngay dem Dakar ñu yóbbu Dakar wàcce ni bagage. So the very people ñi nga wax ne ñooñu la Yaya Jammeh doon xee. Yaya Jammeh was a strange bedfellow with them and we all knew Yaya Jammeh fit gim amoon di wax tubaab yi lu ko neex te dara du si génna dafa am lum xamal tubaab yi dafa am lum defal tubaab yi. So we need to understand that waaye loolu historians yi ñoo war a binda properly ñu document properly ñu research. Yaa ngi wax ne man amoon naa relationship ak Yaya Jammeh xam naa Yaya Jammeh waaye kanilaay la amee woon before mu génn Gambia dem ñëw na America spend na moom 4.5 months August by January 1993. So I know him. But now, is it a coincidence? Yankuba Toure, Edward Singate, Yaya Jammeh, they all went to military training in the US. Less than 2 years of their training, ñoom ñëpp ñu bokk ci benn coup d'etat. Have you ever thought of that?
Well, man sama bëggee gom loolu
déedéet man gowuma de bro it's not for me to go dama ne Gambian historians yi war nañoo gën a def research into such a chapter. Allow me ma jekkadi rek dama ne Gambian historians yi
why chill allow him to learn no chill hard allow him to learn
benn 5 seconds rek
no bàyyi ko mu daaneel après yow nga ñëw
ñooñu kon ñoom ñoo nekk di operate ba léegi xam nga because man mu ñoo bëgg a wax ne ñun moomuñ suñu bopp
man buguma laa def dara de help pour xalaat la. I am interrogating your mind if you're so willing and it's up to you to dig deeper.
Exactly. And that's what I do.
Man da déedéet dégg loolu li ma la wax. Déedéet try you man.
I don't think you're hearing what he's saying because I don't agree to you what
oh my God man soo bëggee ñu waxtaan danga maa déglu xam nga ñun the hard mentality once again hard mooy gétta gi ñun we are programmed to be grouped in a gétta man dama la ne la take your time nga xalaat nga laajte ndax Jawara nim génnee Gambia head of state waroon na koo génnee Gambia bloodless no resistance ñu omba Jawara ni fóot bu tilim dugal ci gaal waxuñ ko ne Dakar nga dem waxuñ ko sax ne gaal gi dafa génna fi mu taxaw all of a sudden mu find boppam Dakar. Now I am saying as nit ñu yàlla may xel lu tax duñ interrogate loolu ñu seet tax am na lu nekk ci gannaawam. And this is one thing that Gambians are not good at doing. We take things as they are presented to us. It's high time we start questioning some of these principles, ideologies, and positions yin ñu jox. Yaya Jammeh did a bloodless coup. Very true. Why amut fancy aduna bi fu ñoo waxee président gaaya ngay ñëw amut benn front line amut kenn ku taxaw pour defend ko amut benn loyalist ñëpp ne nañ dugg ci gaal kan moo fa nekkoon ambassadeur America moo wax ak Jawara yóbbu ko ci biir gaal hell pour xalaat la bro Gambians si we don't take history passé na waru ñoo taxaw ne passé na we should interrogate dafa yomba torop suñ koy naree tey li xewoon loolu mooy dégg bi Andrew Winter moo dem State House ekati wutel moo dem State House ànd ak Jawara ci motoom yóbbu ko ci port bi ñu dugal ko ci gaal mu ne ko xaaral bañ régler situation bi nga dellu so xam nga ne loolu there was a pre-planned ku jëli Jawara ba biir State House dugal ko ci gaal ne ko xaaral And the next thing, Jawara found himself in Dakar. Luta, Gambian historians are not looking deep into land mota lolu hew. Lolu, it was premeditated. Who were the culprits? Nyan nyo nekon di ligay ak Americans. This is something Gambia, because they suñ ko xamul daf ñoo dalat. Gis nga history so si jangut dang ko repeat. Te li Andrew Winter jogut rek yalla yako bopa ne ko demal nga jël Jawara dugal ko ci gal. All of a sudden ma yobu ko Dakar. It's a plan. Buñ tok ñu ne non Jawara demewut Dakar ne yobu len ma Dakar biñ demee bene ok coup d'état bi succeed na non man buguma delu Banjul nañ dem Dakar non dañ dugal Jawara ci gal ne ko dañ génn tuuti su li rek nga ñëwaat waaye ñooñu am nañ seen plan ba pare dem wàccee ko Dakar jël seen gal continuer ñibi lutax gal gi nekkoon fi at that particular time. Man, my point is I'm being provocative.
Bro, xam naa ne you are billion minded. Xam nga waaye sometimes tamit dafay baax pour ñu xam nga ñu déglu wante xel tamit su ko defee ñu mën a understand ante tamit because we are talking about leadership here.
Waaw man loolu laay wax. I'm talking about leadership. And
loolu soo gisee
am na yoo xam ne suñ si jàngeewul dañ koo defaat.
waaw mais ma tuuti rek bro. waaw mais ma tuuti rek man soo gisee man bi gën ma inspire moo nekk ne man dama dee déglu broda Benny dama ko dee déglu te dama dee déglu tamit yeneen ut moom rek yeneen world leaders yi sax te dama laa woon ne positive world leaders yi yëpp nuñ dee vibrante nuñ dee mége sense moom façon yooyu noonu la dee communiquer te da ngaa cappa ne till now soo ko bàyyee xel ak moom nu moo communiquer ak real tough world leaders yi nu ñoo communiquer is the same section. So man tay so ñëwé tay diko modernize in a different way tamit I will look myself again in a mirror latest mo ba ñun ci ban Africa lañ nekk because of dafa melni ki history ak story buñ wax ci ñun mo nekk ci ñun ba légui because ñang jaay yow yaangi nonu yaangi nekk borom xam waye man feel na ne dega la so gisé sa nga dé beñ pour join ci government bi dafa am sa position fu am na role bu nga xam ne mënu lako fa play waye am na ñu nga xam ne tamit ne they are capable in that position. Which you know that if they have been given chance, they will prove they are plans and policy.
1 minute, young after slip and tie you. Because you're going to time. You're
hello.
Chill. You're not going to take question. But you're going to ask my 20 minutes. Understand my so yeah. Sarah,
okay, salam alaikum. Uncle, how is you? I'm sorry, it's very bad. But man, small question modi. Ñun Gambia, do we think we need new leaders or do we think that ñun suñ bopa ñoo wara like wake up and make the country be where we want to go, yeah? Every time, okay, ñu ne Yaya Jammeh ñëw na, Jawara ñëw na, Barrow ñëw na, it's normal pour ñu wàccee ñu égal. But I feel like ne ñun suñ problème nekkatut leaders yi de suñ problème ñun la ñun as Gambians. And the reason why I said that is ñun dañ jël okay ñu bari ñu nekk ci politics bi man I don't do politics anyways. It's like I feel like it's waste of time in my sense in a sense do my vote I will not be part of politics, but it's high time us as youths ñoo xam ne ndaw leen ñu ngi ñëw to come and join hands and fight what we want, but not the leaders. I feel like ñun problem bi du leaders yi. We're talking about Adama Barrow. Somebody else will come again. We will still be shouting that name. Deal. But what are we doing as Gambians? Gambia is one of the most smallest countries. Tay so duggé Sénégal da nga fogg né yaangi Europe. Lan motax ñun Gambia ñun mënuñoo nekk façon buñ bu ko kon dëkk bi mu mel ko my Wolof is very bad. But yes. So these are the things that we need to think about. Do we need a new leader or ñun Gambians we need to stand up and fight for what we want?
Okay, Mr. Njai, after you may slip.
Well, I think Jigen Bilimwa Degala, you cannot have a new Gambia without new Gambians. And I have been saying this over and over and over. Right now, what we want is a cosmetic change and not a structural structurally resilient and sustainable change. Gambia needs a structurally resilient, sustainable change. And lolu pour am, the mindset, the attitude, the worldview of the Gambian must change. And change is a process. It's not going to happen overnight, but dafa am fuñ wara dore. Ñun right now, we are still 1965 politicking. Ñun Gambian bi, the way we see the public service, danga dem boka pour njeriño, not boka pour njeriñal nit ñi. So our structural mindset needs a shift. Shift bobu su amut. So ñu indilon Albert Einstein, we are bound to fail. Because Einstein du ñëw pour lead Einstein. Einstein dafa ñëw pour lead Gambians. And any other leader we have is coming to lead a people. And leadership, whether we like it or not, dafa am yoo xam ne leader bi daf ko am, but naturally tamit leader bi daf they hold the traits of the people. Tey Baro suy exploit Gambian bi jël moto sani la ko jël liggéey sani la ko nga jël ko. He understands the Gambian mindset. We are materially driven and we're selfish people. So therefore, I can do whatever I want to do as Mr. Barrow. When it comes time to pay for the price, I put a price tag out there and they will end up taking what I have to give and forget about what I have done. So a new Gambian is needed to usher in a new Gambia.
Thank you. You have answered what I wanted to. But as well as Konoko Wahene, okay, ñun suñ boppa they need changes. Man lo rek la feel like ne Gambia ñun lo lañ lack because ciow bi daf dee bari we like ñu see media we talk about okay, oh dañu wara wacce ki ciow bi daf dee bari. But when it comes to like okay, nañ leen gain a CBT. That's where the problem is. Everybody will be like okay, goody bi su jotee they'll go and buy bread CBT bi. Then you jencha ko sen bi keri be suba because they're even scared and be carry besuba because they're even scared and be carry besuba because they're even scared and be carry besuba because they're even scared. Amna 95% of these people are supporting this party. Okay, that's where I belong. But do you have a voice of your own? Do you have like a mindset of your own? Like dunye buga like on you am suñ own heli bopa then you dey yobu too much. And if like su nekkee ne kon lii lañ am as Gambians, then Gambia do them pen. And that's just the honest truth. Gambia lu fi nekka léegi man maa ngi Gambia léegi for 3 months now. But every day I'm shocked by the things that I see in Gambia. We're talking about leaders. We don't have any leaders. Gambia is like rampang legi. Amatud any control. There is no leaders. There is no law. They take laws onto their own hands. And then li moneka di run Gambia. Dangaji skula tiesa, police officer bula tiesa. Okay, joma fofu non dara maleka. Why do I need to give you something to eat? Are you not like being paid?
Okay, so I'm not a large question if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Phil, the them there.
No, but I'm not them.
Sleep you want to know. Sleep you want to know. Yeah,
according to Limwa.
Sleep
more.
Back on jail time.
Yeah, sleep. How many sleep? Camel.
No, but they want to give it time. More nigga things. So
I know.
Okay.
Guys,
Charlie for watch Umi, man ma duga silegi. Okay. Phil, go on. 1 minute.
Well, not kala possible. I'm going to do the noise. According to everything that you said, you're not into politics, you senior what again, come to fight their own country back. You as a youth and as a Gambian, what is your take? The upcoming election 2026.
Okay. Me, I feel like I don't have all my party I belong to. And I think I'm not confident what legi is in Jai or something. Like all my like party bohamne like I'm actually like supporting that party. No. I believe in one thing more than okay, the betterment of the Gambia, yeah? So konum ko wahe rek tay ki mun na ñew mu promise la okay, this is all I'm going to do suma jëlé Gambia. But one thing we need to realize, Monica, we as African countries, we don't select presidents. Hanga ñun duñ dé select sacakat. So whoever comes here, they will give you okay their stories. Okay, ni lay defal Gambia, until they get that seat, and you will see what they can do. So I don't have a party. I don't belong to any party, but I'm ready to basically part of the people that are working for Gambia. You get what I'm saying? So all my ben party bu ma bokk ku ñëw and ready to work, then we'll join hands and work.
Jërëjëf. Okay, and slip ñëwal. Man Barça boy sa tour bi duma ko dé mëna over billahi wala.
Bilaay waxati ko.
Kis ku la fi bindana ku la follow fi ah. Nga wax mako. Ñaan na la rek.
Dama ko follow man ki xam naa ko dama ko follow.
No way TikTok bi follow wante la di.
No, kis ma xala amul ay follow ñoon de. Ñaan na leen de.
No, man ki xam naa ko di boy. Man ki xam naa ko fa de.
Slip ñëwal. Foofu la.
Boy aga xam de long time. Ana Musa wàcc na.
Waaye boobu sax Babel moo ko moom xarama noo bi.
Slip ñëwal.
Man ki dama ko yaga xam sax. Waaw.
Man moom dëgg déglu naa waxtaan bi am na important trop waaye comme nu Ñang Njaay wax na wax yi important système bi jeexal léegi tamit wax na lu important dëgg because of comme man lu ma dee wax rek Gambia xëy na dëgg la leader bi dañ need pour change leader waaye dama foog ne there is more changes boo xam ne tamit dafa war a am ñun as a Gambian in general because man dama foog ne doomu aadama bi sa xel bi nga xam ne moom la ñu suñu borom jox sa dundin daf dee mën a détermine tamit yow ni nga xelaatee sa dundin daf dee mën a dépend doomu aadama bi si boppam ni moo xelaatee because of Gambia dëgg suñu eggee si plateforme yi comme for example wala nga nekk si diaspora bi.
Mr. Njai, man maa la mute aguma cause yaa ngi ataaya fana yaa ngi si sports yaa ngi second. Continue.
Second la nekk second.
Okay.
Kasi yaa ngi xala oyof.
Leen ma de dama doon prepare añ.
Okay, dama foo nag noonu leewal okay. But continue.
Exactly. So changes bi dëgg la président mun na see bokka. Président bi nu mu see bokkee mooy xëy na ñu am njiit boo xam ne am na vision understand nga su boobaa moom su ñëwee nekk leader because man fooguma ne looy Gambie yi tegee nañ ko noo xam ne nii comme suñ si tegoo ku si nekk respect ko dëkk bi dina nekk fu mu nekk nii dëgg because dama foog ne xëy na loo si nuñ ko tegee ñun suñ si tënk woon ñun ñëpp ko noonu dëkk bi romb na fii so président bi nga xam ne moo war a ñëw su nekkee xëy na moom am na dëkk bi in heart war a implement those laws dafa easy tamit su nekkee xëy na si kaw ñoom respect nañ ko di nga gis ne si suuf ñëppay nangu understand nga te tënku si kaw luwaa yooyu noonu daf dee mun a tax tamit change su bëri mun a am ñu ne leen suñ biir parce que su boobaa dinañ teg luwaa yoo xam ne wala dina strict si luwaa yi ba nga xam ne nii mbooleem loo xam ne nii ñëpp a ko bokk ñëpp nañ si jot understand nga su boobaa rek changes boobu noonu dina mun a am waaye su nekkee xëy na changes boobu noonu xëy na for example dafa difficult because of yow su nekkee as a leader yow da nga ñëw so nga ne ok man daanaka suma salary sax suma bugg a dëkk bi suma mbugel si dëkk bi sax man suma salary bi sax daanaka even half bi sax mun naa ko saraxe waaye man li nga xam ne moom laa bugg rek mooy ne na ñëpp jub na ñëpp liggéey understand nga ñu tegu si yoon dëkk bi develop loolu mooy sa agenda for so most of the time yow soo amee that type of idea as a leader soo ñëwee because government la nekkut yow kenn problème bi nga dee mun a am rek moo nekk most of your employees ñi nga xam ne ñoo la war a liggéeyal si gannaaw war laa jàppale so ñooñu most of the time duñ dee mun a nekk exactly comme yow naka nga nekkee te su boobaa soo waree strict si kaw luwaa yi ba nga xam ne xëy na dañ door di arrest ñi nga xam ne dañ corrupt li nga xam ne luwaa bi daf ko santaane ñu def ko su boobaa Gambia ak mentalité bi population bi ñoom seen boppa duñ gis ne mbiri luwaa la understand nga because families yi nga xam ne ñooñ nga jàppa ñooñ seen boppa dañoo bugg di génn di react because ñoom dañ start from that day dañ laa téye as a enemy understand nga because of ñun that type of understanding lañ am so si insister dafa mun a continuer ba after dañ laa mujjee di ooyee dictator understand nga so to the extent ne dañoo bugga pour change la fekk ndeysaan ku ñëw pour change sa yow yéene bi nga am si dëkk bi ak bugga bi nga am si dëkk bi kooku du ko am understand nga moo tax development dafa jafeñ te su nekkee xëy na Gambia depuis buñ amee independent ba léegi ñu nekk di jooy benn ting si benn feebar bi ñu nekk di ko jooy mu nekk feebar boo xam ne léegi ñu ngi naan ay 60 wala xama ñaata years understand nga so ñun suñ demee ba xam ne feebar boobu noonu dafa chronique si ñun dañ war a expect ne tamit wax dëgg yàlla feebar boobu noonu pour war koo jékki-jékki rek faj ko benn at ñaari at ñetti at ñeneenti at feebar bi war a faju non loolu expectation boobu noonu dafa gàtta trop Gambia pour mu war a change loolu dañ ko war a starté depuis léegi si xale yi ndaw a ndaw yi because ñun moom ñun passé nañ ñun moom romba nañ waaye xale yi ndaw a ndaw yi at least foofu lañ ko war a starté te da ngaa gis ne ñu bala ñoo maaga ba di join dafa mën a jël time ndax risque boobu noonu ndax ñun Gambian si
slip and play su ma la déggee kon dafa mel ni ki yaa ngi waxee kon si jikko yi
exactly
yaa baax na daal na leer te mooy dëgga
exactly foofu laa ñëwee because of dafa am loo xam ne comme niñ ko dee waxee rek doomu aadama bi Mohamed duggoon na fi léegi di wax ne yàlla mooy fal dëgg la ji nga dafa am yoo xam ne ñun dañ ko misunderstand xaw ma daal yàlla dëgg la yàlla lu nekk yàlla la waaye ji nga doomu aadama bi ba ko yàlla defaralee jox ko xel rek la pare ak ñun soo xamee àdduna bi ni moo doxee rek di nga xam ne yàlla béy sa tool bro dafa am yoo xam ne ñun ñoo ko decide understand nga nit ki doo asamaan si du taw nga dem ji gerte ak dugub nga ne yow da nga war a góob mbooxa ak ñeebe loolu possible buñ nax suñ boppa as a Gambian change Gambian dafa métti trop because of si ñun la Gambia soo demee Gambia as holidays nga dem si ground bi nga tooga booy dang dee mën a xam ne dëgg changes bi nga nekk di expect booy xaajagutaa am Gambia te ñooñu ñoo war a nekk di vote bu ñooñu concept buñ am is so different ñoom dañ believe ne leader bi daal dafa war a éeg si kaw comme Yaya Jammeh time boobu noonu génn ak xomo yi understand nga booy ñi coy booy doo mën a gis sax seen buti booy seen fetel yëpp xob Gambien ni ñun loolu moo ibbi
waaw benn cin bi di daw yaa ma daaneel nag yi xam nga waaw yaa ma gën a xam
so yooyu noonu moo di ibbi suñ boppa yi understand nga te ndeysaan yooyu noonu booy amul njëriñ li am njëriñ moo nekk ne comme ñun dëkk yuñ nekk nii xam nga su nekkee da nga tukki nga intégrate nga xam fii système bi nu moo doxee rek da nga dee xam ne ñun Gambie lu ñu téye wala Afrique in général sax jikko yi la te jikko yi nag wax dëgg yàlla xëy na ñun meluñ woon noonu waaye xëy na ñoom seen boppa ñoom colonial yi ñoom ñoo ñëw design ñun suñu life te ñoom ñun life bi ñoom niñ ko designé still now ñun si leen boobu noonu lañ nekka so ñun pour ñu war a change suñu jikko yi dafa mun a jël generations te loolu dafa nit sacrifice so ñun ñi nga xam ne ñun ñoo nekk elder si léegi ñun ñoo war a sacrifice ne dañ war a change dëkk bi waaye njëriñ bi duñ ko fekkee suñ doomi wala suñ seeti ñoo ko ñëw fekkee bot ndax pare nañ pour jël that sacrifice non we don't
guys ñu bàyyi siisu bi ñu tapote live bi waay siisu
we don't pare wuñ because luy